Parks, schools, restaurants, and more, Assembly Row gets high scores. We're a thriving city with so much to do. On Boston Harbor, in our view, politics, cannabis, controversial stories, heroes, villains, who gets the glory? 50 plus languages in Somerville is spoken. Sanctuary city, there are no free tokens. History in Somerville stays alive. In All American City, we won 3 times. Somerville connects. Somerville connects. Welcome to another edition of Dead Air Live, the longest live-running TV show in America and audio podcast, Somerville Connects. Today we have the lovely Ruth Pressley from Love Yourself Healthy. Welcome, Ruth. How are you today?
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Jojo. I really do appreciate getting on here today. I am here in cloudy Philadelphia, Pennsylvania today, but I am grateful to be on the show. I am an entrepreneur that loves nutrition. Nutrition is my happy place. I am a wife of one husband. I have lots of siblings. I have 9 brothers, 8 sisters, and a whole gaggle of people. So nutrition is my happy place with helping people get healthier and stronger every single day.
Tell us about the title, the name of your website, Love Yourself Healthy. I know you have a story and I know you have a journey that you want to share with us.
Yes. Love Yourself Healthy came from my background of just dealing with my own personal illnesses and helping my family members with their illnesses. And sometimes people say, I love myself and I love me. But oftentimes the things we're doing, you may be loving yourself, but you're not loving yourself healthy. You're doing things that are actually detrimental to your health. So that's where Love Yourself Healthy came from.
And what are some of the things that you used to do that created, let's say, health issues? Because sometimes when people choose a path of health, I know it myself, I'm a cancer survivor, it kind of changes your perspective. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey? Because, by the way, I don't know a whole lot about you. I met you at BNI Speed Networking, and our listeners and viewers don't know a whole lot about you. So take us a little bit on your journey and how you arrived at this place, because one doesn't just arrive at Love Yourself Healthy.
No, you do not. That's an excellent question. I arrived at Love Yourself Healthy because although I thought I was doing everything correctly, I was an emotional wreck. Everything, just anything happening, we got to fix it. We got to fix it. We got to fix it. And while I was running around trying to fix everyone else, I was getting sicker. And that's when I came with the Love Yourself Healthy, because I thought I was loving myself by loving and trying to help others. But when it becomes a detriment to your health, then it's time to pull back and realize that you have to take care of you before you can take care of anyone else. And that's how I came to Love Yourself Healthy. You must do that.
So you're grabbing the oxygen mask first, so you could save other people, because if you are not taking care of you, how can you be of any service to anyone else, correct?
Exactly. That is exactly the truth. And with my large family, there's all kinds of health issues. But one of the things that I've learned in these past 27 years, that your DNA, your diagnosis, they don't have the final say. You have the final say when it comes to your health by just making that. I always say you make one solid decision that leads to one simple change that leads to a better life for you. So you're not surviving, you're now thriving.
Can you say that again? I love that.
Say that again. One solid decision, one simple change that can change your whole life. And I think what happens with people sometimes, including myself, we try to take the whole pie and eat the whole thing, and we're going to exercise for 3 hours a day, and we haven't exercised in 10 years. We're going to go to bed early, and we haven't been to bed early in 25 years. So my approach to helping people is, what's the one thing that we can change today? And then we change another thing a little further down the road. And by the end of 6 weeks or 6 months, you have now did that course correction so that everything is in homeostasis.
What does homeostasis mean for our viewers that don't understand what that word means?
Homeostasis, simply put, is everything is in balance. Everything is working together. And that doesn't mean you have 50% here and 50% here, or 10, 10, 10. It just means that your life is balanced. So when something comes up, you have the energy to handle that. But at the same time, you can go back to where it's all no matter what's going on, you are at peace on the inside, even in the midst of a storm, when you have homeostasis.
Tell us about, if you can, and I know you're not supposed to give names, and I'm not asking for names, about maybe one or two of your clients, your success stories, why people come to you and what you do to help them.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. That's an excellent question. And the first one that comes to mind is a young lady that I'm very close to. And she got a tetanus shot, which erupted something in her body. And she ended up getting something known as pemphigus, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks your skin. And she had sores, and her skin felt like it was on fire. She couldn't hug her child. She couldn't be touched. And every time she took a shower, it would make her cry because her skin hurt so bad. So she made that one solid decision that I'm going to try something different, because the medical professions, and I have nothing against doctors, please, I do not. What they were prescribing wasn't helping. So she decided, okay, let's do this. And after 25 days of doing whole food, plant-based nutrition, which simply means 80 to 90% of your food is coming from plants. She made that decision, and in 25 days, her skin was cleared. And when she went back to see the doctor said, in 25 years of practicing, I have never seen anyone turn around like you did. And there was nothing further needed for her. And that's the beauty of what I get to do every day, is I get to educate you, and then you get to decide what you're willing and what you're ready to do.
Are you educating people with having raw foods, which is their natural way, that their natural source, like a vegetable? They don't cook them. They could juice them. They can eat them as they are. Is that what your Love Yourself Healthy is all about?
No, because one of the reasons, yes, raw is better. But if you've had years of eating a certain way, if you start eating all raw, your body is going to it doesn't work out good for you. So that's why it's one simple change. Let's add one thing at a time. Maybe we won't cook our vegetables until they are nutrition depleted and soft and mushy. Maybe we'll decide to steam them for a few minutes instead. So we just do one little thing at a time so that your system has a chance to get caught up with the new lifestyle. And then eventually you'll probably end up eating mostly raw or
Would
lightly steamed.
would you agree that the planet has a lot of issues with their digestion, and people are eating too many processed foods? So because your gut is your second brain.
Yes, it is.
What would you tell people, or how do you approach or help people that have digestive issues? What is the one change you tell them, or the two changes or three changes?
One of the first changes is hydration. You have to drink more water so that your body can more easily assimilate what's going in. The second thing I would tell them to do, is if it comes through a window, you probably shouldn't be eating it. Drive-through window, drive-through window. If it comes
yes,
through
yeah.
a window,
Oh, okay.
maybe you should not eat that as often. Uh, because they say that it's junk food, but it's either food or it's junk. There's no such thing as junk food. And then the second thing is try not to eat as many things that come prepackaged and ready to go. And then the third thing is always read the label. And if you don't recognize it, 99% of the time, your body will not recognize it either. Your body absorbs what it recognizes.
That's really interesting and fabulous answer. When people look at labels, what should they be looking for? The sodium, the sugar, the fat. Some people look at protein, but they don't look at carbs or they don't look at the sodium. Tell us the ins and outs of labels.
Well, one of the things when you're looking at the label, the first ingredient is the main ingredient. So if the first ingredient is sugar or oil or a word you don't recognize, then leave it alone. That would be my first thing. If the first word is sugar, leave it alone. Not that carbs are bad. It's just we have to listen to our bodies because our bodies are the best communicators in the world. Would you agree with that?
Oh
Your
my,
body lets you know.
yes, your body will tell you, I'm happy, I'm sad, I need this, I need that. You know when you're hungry, you know when you're not. Yeah.
Yes.
When you need sleep, when you don't.
Yeah. So, and if the words are like this big on there, or if there's this much ingredients to make that product, I would not eat it. The less, the least amount of ingredients for me, the better, because then I know I can read um, spinach, broccoli, corn, spices. I can read those words and I know what that is. But if I'm reading mellow dextrose, something or the other, glucose, this and that, and another thing with the labels, if it's a glucose or a fructose or all that, and sometimes they put different names, all that is sugar. It's just sugar. And the other thing that I would suggest is that you go online and read up on what is this ingredient? What does it do for the body? What benefit is this for my body? Because food is information, and you want to give your body the best information.
I never looked at food as information. I like that a lot. That's great. Okay. Beautiful.
Wow.
I'm learning a lot today, and I'm sure our viewers and listeners are as well. What is your view on something that has too many carbs, too much sugar, or too much sodium? Address that and what it does to the body, if you can. I asked you three different questions: carbs, sodium, and sugar. And how should people approach that when they see a label?
One of the things about these ingredients is how were they processed? Because there's things like Himalayan pink salt, Hawaiian black salt. But when you get the industrialized salt that's been whatever they do to it, I don't know, that kind of stuff, your body's saying, I don't know what this is. So your body responds in a negative way. And then you end up on medications because you're giving your body junk and it doesn't know what to do with it. So the sodium, I would just make sure that I use Himalayan pink salt. I'm not getting, I use Himalayan pink salt. When it comes to carbs, one of the problems with some of the carbs is how they are processed. What did they do to make it to what it is? If they've added all kinds of fat, our bodies need carbs because carbs give you energy, but you have to monitor what you're doing. Our body needs a little bit of a lot of stuff to work the best. So when it comes to carbs are not bad. It's how many are you processing? How many are you putting into your body? Are your carbs in the forms of potato chips? Are they in the form of cookies? Are they in one or two cookies? Fabulous. Small bag of chips? Fabulous. Big bag of chips, whole row of cookies? Not so much. So it's carbs, it was sodium, and then there was sugar. Sugar The same thing. White sugar. How did it get white?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, white sugar is like the food. I guess it's the heroin of food.
Yeah, it is. It's very addicting. It is. It is addicting. That's why people get addicted to that because their body's not getting the nutrition that it needs. So we believe that we need since our body is craving sugar, it's the sugar that your body needs. But I believe, this is my belief, that your body is craving, like when you give me what I need, I'll stop craving this sugar. I'll stop craving these bad for me carbs. I will respond in a different way. I will eat an apple instead to get my sugar fix, or a fig or a date, and get my sugar in. But when we're giving our body the wrong thing, our body's going to keep craving until you give it what it needs.
What happens to a person when they eat, let's say, a bag of chips? I know back in the day, I would go to Trader Joe's and I would have a bag of those cheese things, whatever they are. And
Yes.
and I and I couldn't I could eat a whole bag. I mean, it's a small bag, but it's a whole bag. It's probably about, it says it's 5 servings. I would eat them all.
Me too.
And the thing is, I don't understand. Something's happening in the brain. I don't understand what's happening in the brain. I don't know why it's happening. But once you start, you cannot stop. Can you explain what's going on in the brain?
Our brain, I'm not an expert. Right now I'm just giving you my opinion, what I think happens in the brain. We are bent towards pleasure. This makes me happy. I'm going to eat it. Your brain says this is making you happy, so I'm going to go right along with you. Your brain will go wherever you take it. So if you decide that this is fun and this is good, your brain's going to say, "Oh, I remember that. She likes this." So we're going to keep doing this because this makes her happy. So when it comes to carbs and potato chips and all that stuff, just monitor what you're doing. Because I self-labeled myself the crunch queen. You give me something crunchy and salty all day long. The little bag that you took, the 5 servings, right along with you, girl, right along with your sister. I could eat the whole bag, and maybe some of you can relate to this. How you take a little bowl and you walk into the other room and you eat that little bowl and you swear you're going to leave it alone, and next thing you know, you're back in there again. You're pulling a little more out, and then it gets almost to the bottom. You say, "Oh, it's almost done. Might as well finish it off." That's where we get into trouble. It's learning to discipline your body and your brain to know that one small serving once or twice a week is fine, but every day, not so much. And your body will let you know that it's bad. Well, with me, what happens is I will get pain in my joints when I eat that way. If I eat something I'm not supposed to, I get pains in my joints, or I get constipated, or I get tired. I want to fall asleep. And this is just on my mind. Even the substitutes for things, because I don't eat dairy at all. But if I eat the substitute almond milk ice cream, that has fat in it. Just that's fat and sugar and all that other things too. So it may not be as bad as the dairy, but it's still the fat and sugar. And I tell people organic potato chips will still make you fat if you keep eating. Because let's be honest, sometimes people see the word organic or all natural, they think it's golden, and I can eat as much as I want to. You cannot. Check the fat. How much fat is in there? Cheese, regular cheese is like 70% fat. And when you wonder why we love it, it's fat.
But
Yeah.
we need fat. We need fat for our brain.
Yes,
And
we do.
and and we need the right kinds of fat. And by the
Yes.
way, you can make your own almond milk. Very
Yes.
easy if you have a high-powered blender. I have a Vitamix,
Yes.
and you get the right amount of almonds, you get a couple of dates, good water, you mix it up really well. You could drink it like that or you could strain it. Boom, you have your almond milk, and it has a short shelf life because you're making it yourself. The things you buy in the store, they have a longer shelf life because they have preservatives.
Exactly.
So I want to share with you a couple of hacks that I do, food hacks, which I
Please.
love. I love crunchy salty. So what I do, if I want something crunchy and salty, I'll have cucumbers cut up. I make them into like little not slices, but the long, I cut them in like strips, and I put the
Yeah.
herbamere, which is the natural sodium. It's fabulous. Fills me up. I get the crunch. I get the salt. Another thing I do is when I buy the spinach, which is the organic spinach, I get like a scoop with my hands. I just grab a scoop and I put some herbamere, again, crunchy, salty. And I'm actually tricking my brain
Yes.
that it's like it's a potato chip, but it's not. And I'm getting my fiber, and it's great. Do you have any food hacks?
Well, one of my food hacks is that I use a cucumber, but another one is making my own ice cream. I make my
Oh.
own, and that way I know exactly what's in it. And I use avocado, good fat, almond milk. I love mint, so I buy mint chocolate, but it's the kind that all natural, organic, vegan mint chocolate. So I make mint chocolate, and then I have a shake mix that I throw in there as well. And it's thick and creamy and delicious. I do not miss regular ice cream. One of my other is, and I don't eat it a lot because again, it's the vegan versions of cheese. I eat those every once in a while, and I'll make a great grilled cheese with that. And then I just started air frying so that I'm not.
Oh yes. How is someone gave me an air fryer. How is that? Is that like someone said you got to try it? I haven't tried it yet. Is it good?
It is really, really good. It's For me, it's really good. But if you're used to having that deep fried thing, no, it's
Mm.
not the same, but it's really good. I enjoy I love my air fryer. I
Is
really
it
do.
is it healthy?
It's it's what I call healthy-ish. It's I think it is only because you're not using grease. It's just the way that they're cooked. You're using maybe a teaspoon. I use like a teaspoon of olive oil just to kind of get that oily feel of the potatoes. But I believe that it is healthy. I do. I
Beautiful.
know it's a lot healthier than the deep fried thing going on.
So Ruth, who is your perfect client? Who are the people that you would like to help in this world?
Oh my goodness, that's a good, perfect question. I would say my first heartbeat always goes to families, mothers with small children, children who believe that ketchup is a vegetable. And there are some adults that believe ketchup is a vegetable. So we help them with one little simple change at a time and get them on the right path so that we have children that are growing up that are healthier and stronger that can make better decisions because they're not nutrient deprived anymore. And then my other people are senior citizens. I love, love, love senior citizens. They are the coolest. Next to children and senior citizens are my two very favorites.
We have a lot in common because I love seniors too. They are just so full, so much wisdom. They're
Yes.
they're lovable, and they're the best. But do you find that senior citizens, it's very hard to change their mind? And before you answer that question, I have
Yes.
to share a story with you. My
Yes.
mother is 89 years old, and I tell my brother, listen, she eats way too much bread. I want you to go to the store and I want you to get her this kind of bread. So my brother brings the bread home, and my mother says, "What's this?" And he says, "Well, Joanne told me to get this bread." And she says, "You go back to the store, you bring that bread back, you get the bread that I want. Everyone should be like me. I've lived 89 years and I'm not going to change the way I eat." So the question for you is it hard to change a senior's mind on making one little change?
It is. It, but I obviously I must love a challenge because once they get into that one simple change and they see how delicious something can be, then they're more than likely to continue on the path. But I love the honesty, and the seniors like, I'm not doing that. And it's there's no more discussion. It's done. Like your mom said, take that bread back. I'm not eating that. I'm not going to eat that. So just take it back and get what I eat. I mean, and that's what they say. I've been eating this way all my life. And then I'll just offer that they try something different because you said you don't feel well anymore. So let's try. That's how that's my in with them, is because they're calling for help. And if I'm here to help you, then let me help you in a way that I know that's been proven over time and time again that fruits and veggies, drinking water will give you a better outcome. That's
Beautiful.
not just me. That's not just my opinion. That's the science. And I know that you know that as well.
So, Ruth, how can people find you? How would you like them to find you?
They can go to my website, eatlikeacow.com. It's my webpage. They can reach me through email at loveyourselfhealthy14@yahoo.com. Those are the best ways to get in touch with me. I'm also on LinkedIn under Love Yourself Healthy if you want to connect with me through LinkedIn as well.
Well, Ruth, you have been such a fabulous guest. I've learned so much, and I'm sure our viewers and listeners have as well. And I want to thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much. This was truly, I really enjoyed myself. I am grateful that we made that connection through BNI, and I was given the opportunity to share something that I care so much about, and that's nutrition in humans. I love humans, and I love to help them get healthier and stronger every day.
You're such a beautiful soul. Thank you, Ruth. And folks, thank you for listening to another edition of Somerville Connects and viewing our Dead Air Live show. Bye for now. Somerville Connects. Somerville Connects.